Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a few different types of spears. One for hunting, one that you could easily make in a survival situation, one you could use for fishing, and one for just regular target practice. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is get a shaft. So there's going to be, the first thing you have to worry about is really the length. So it depends what you're doing. So a usual spear for throwing can be like between 5 to 7 feet. That's a good height, but use whatever you're comfortable with. If you're hunting with it, if you're using it as a spear, if you're using it for throwing, you'd probably get something between 5 and 7 feet, or whatever you're comfortable with. Maybe something that's your own height. I prefer something that's my height, but you know, it's up to you, whatever you like. But there's also short spears that you could just use for close range and for keeping in your hand and for stabbing and self-protection. So basically there's warriors in the desert. What they do is if they have like a porcupine or something in the ground and they're trying to get it out, they would light a fire on the other side of the hole that they made. It would basically be a tunnel. So they would light a fire on the other side and wait for it to actually just get smoked out and come out the other side. They'd be waiting there with a spear, and that spear would usually be 2-3 feet at the most, because they have to use it for close range and just for stabbing. So keep that in mind when you're looking at length. It's really what you're using it for and what you're comfortable with. I just got some wooden dowels. I picked them up at Home Depot. This big one is about 6 feet. This is about 3 feet, I think. So yeah, they were pretty cheap. They were under 10 bucks. So I bought them at Home Depot. Okay, so first off, one just for practicing, there is this one. This is a regular spear, a wooden dowel, and what I did is I took a tennis ball and I duct tape all around it. So why would you make something like this? This wouldn't be effective at all, obviously, but the reason I made this is because if you're in your backyard and if you have a closed space like I do and you just want to practice your throwing, this would replicate having like a heavy, a blade, replicate the weight of the blade. And basically you'd have a tennis ball at the front, so it won't break anything. You don't have to worry about the spear actually bouncing off, going over the fence, breaking your window, whatever it is. So this is great for practice. Or if you're indoors, that's another thing. You get something like this if you're indoors. Next, we have a spear you can make in a survival situation. So all you would do is get a spear, get a piece of wood, get a stick, whatever it is, and just sharpen it with your blade. Let me do that and come back to the video. So this is what it looks like. It took me like 5 minutes. I quickly just sharpened this up. Not the most effective thing, but it's something that you can easily make in a survival situation where you probably don't have a lot of tools and you just need something to get the job done, which this will get the job done. You could use this for hunting, but let's go to the next one. Next one we're going to work on is a fishing spear. So for that, all you have to do is just cut it this way and this way, sort of like a plus sign, and cut it down, about maybe 6 inches or less, whatever you think is good. Cut it down about 5-6 inches, and then we're going to place what you could do is once you have the pieces of wood split, you could put some rope in there. You could tie some rope on the inside. You could put some twigs. You could put a couple pencils, whatever you want to do, just to keep it spaced out. And then we're going to sharpen off the actual points. This would make a great fishing spear. So then this fish couldn't get out, and you have more points to actually stab the fish with. But yeah, let me show you how that looks. Oh, and you should probably use a saw or something like that. Just use a saw to cut it down properly so you have a clean cut, so it's not off and jagged. Okay, so for the fishing spear, this is what you guys should have, something like this. Ideally, it should be more wider split, and these things should be more sharpened. But I made this so you guys could just get the idea of how it's done. So what I did, I used the Coghlan's foldable saw. I cut it downwards a few inches both ways. Then I put some bamboo skewers, 2 of them on each side, just to split it and keep it open. And then I sharpened it with my knife around the edges. So ideally it should be more sharpened, but you guys get the idea. This is how it should be. This would be used for fishing. So you have 4 points instead of 1 to get the fish. You just quadrupled your chances of actually hitting the fish. So yeah, this is a good fishing weapon. Okay, so this is the last one I'm going to show you guys. This you could actually use for hunting. It'd be really good for hunting, more effective than just the sharpened stick. So what you need for this is a knife, one of these ones. This is I think this is one of those Dollarama knives that, the handles split really easily. It's a kitchen knife. and then you need your, obviously you need the actual spear, and then you need something to cut it with. So I'm going to use the saw, and then you need something to put it together with, that would be tape or a rope. So how this is going to work is you get your shaft, your wooden dowel, you cut it down with the saw going downwards, and what you have to do is you have to cut it up till whatever the length of the handle is. So if it's like right there, I'm gonna cut it up to there. So once you're done doing that, we're gonna take this knife and we're gonna remove the handle. And it's simple with these cheap knives. All you gotta do is like puncture this thing in, just press these little buttons in with your knife, try to break them, and then they'll come out, and then it'll loosen up the knife. So let's see if I can get a close up on that. Make sure you guys how to do it. So just be careful, don't hurt yourself. Should be able to just push this in or go around the edges and take that out. Yeah, see? That's what I was waiting for. I pull it out. Yeah, so that's the first one. I'll do the other ones and get back to the video. So now that I've taken all of these off, I should just be able to pull off the handle. Let's see if it works. Yeah, look at that. It's glued on, so. Oh god, I made a mess. Okay. So I'm just cutting that wood, and yeah, while I was trying to take off the handle off of the smaller knife, I found a butcher's knife, and I just took the handle off of that, and we're actually going to use this one instead. It's much more bigger, looks more cool. Okay, let's, I got this cut. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that. So I got it cut the length of the handle of the knife. Just gonna put this in now. Okay, perfect. Now I'm just gonna tape this around. You could use rope or tape or whatever you want. I'm gonna use tape. It is, but we're gonna tape it around. Duct tape would probably be a better idea, but just gonna use electrical tape. And just wrap this around like 10 times. Okay, there it is. It's ready to use. Alright everyone, that's our few different types of spears. We made the hunting spear, the one that's most effective out of all of them. We made this sort of really simple homemade survival spear that you could just make in the forest in a survival situation. We got this one, the fishing spear. And then we got this one for just throwing and target practice. Okay guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching.